It's me.
Welcome to the Madness Collective. On tonight's episode, CARLTON declines to work with Tyler Perry and he breaks the internet by referring to him as that man. Charlamagne reads Donald Trump for filth on Fox News of all places. MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene, that lady, she posted a questionable bikini pic on social media and she got gathered. The BEYHIVE says fuck AMC in a confusing turn of events. Another millionaire wants to build a submarine to visit the Titanic ruins for some reason. I don't know why are white people obsessed with the fucking Titanic. Young Miami says that she does not enjoy golden showers. And that was just a media stunt to sell a card game. Make that make sense. Kenya Moore is cashing a Pfizer check. I don't know if y'all seen it, but Kenya Moore is in a migraine commercial for Pfizer. That just popped up out of nowhere. Airbnb removes a host's privileges after finding out that he said a bunch of racist shit on Twitter, which I celebrate. And lastly, now there's an app for getting flued out for sex. Tonight we are joined by Sarah, and I have you under here as the wrong. I'm always doing this shit the wrong way. We are joined by Sarah and Chavez and myself. All that and more on tonight's episode of
The Madness Collective.
That's right, bitch. We're gonna get into it. Yes, bells and whistles, bitch. Okay, so let's get into the first story.
What up, Karen? What up, Dion?
Yeah. Young Miami says she doesn't like getting peed on. Do y'all have any comments on that? Y'all know I got a bunch to say about this.
I think she's lying.
Fuck yeah, she lying. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
I don't know. I just want to be controversial.
I think the first thing that's crazy about this, I'm fogging up. The first thing that's crazy about this is you're dating a man. I mean, because we don't know that y'all broke up. We were never clear on the nature of the relationship. You're dating a man or no longer dating a man. We don't fucking know. But this video comes out, sets the world on fire. We ain't heard shit from you. And the first thing we hear is that, no, I don't like getting peed on. Maybe comment on the shit that everybody else is commenting on in that video. Can we hear your opinion on that first? And to be clear, and y'all, tonight we're a little, y'all see I'm working on the bells and whistles. I ain't had time to put a bunch of graphics together, but I think we go hit that sweet spot in about a week. But what prompted her to comment on this, she goes on Twitter, and again, don't speak about Puffy, just continues to live her life like nothing has happened. And she asks her followers, tell me the moment that you fell in love with me. And then one user responded and said, I fell in love with you when I found out you like getting pissed on.
Yeah.
That's when she felt the need to respond and say, I was just playing with y'all, just backpedaling and pussy popping all over the place. It reminds me of this is a throwback. Well, for the young,
wait a minute, is this about to be an after dark uncut moment?
Slightly, yeah. We gonna kick it off. We go ahead and we got it. You know, just let the people know. So, y'all remember that Omarion song, "Supposed to Be"? Now,
yeah,
Jhené Aiko is on that song, and I don't know the lyrics verbatim, but she basically is saying if the nigga. If the nigga living like he supposed to be, then he gotta eat the booty like groceries.
Yeah.
Remember that shit went viral, right?
Yeah.
Like groceries. Everybody knows what that means. You ain't even got to say the rest of it. You know what it means.
Yeah.
So
that's it. Yes.
I saw her and her boyfriend, because I think they're still together now. They might be married. I think she might have had a baby with Big Sean.
She did. She did.
So she and Big Sean are on the Breakfast Club, and it's an interview. And you know Charlamagne, this was Charlamagne and this was before he got saved or became enlightened or whatever you want to call it. And he literally looks at Big Sean and Jhené Aiko and is like, so you be eating her ass? And Jhené goes, I don't like doing that. And Charlamagne is like, nigga, you said it on the song. And she said, oh, it was just a song. Why these women lying about sexual acts? Yes, I'm going to say this. Unless you like somebody sticking their tongue up your asshole, do not put it in a song.
Yeah, you might not want to talk about it.
So check this out, man. Listen, when Cuba Gooding Jr. yelled out Ricky, and Morris Chestnut started running and got shot, that was all for entertainment. Like, that didn't happen for real.
Right.
You know, so they just, it's all entertainment. You know, it's entertainment.
Oh my God. Is that really what we're going with today?
It's entertainment.
Okay.
I mean, I'm feeling mad controversial today. So it's like I might just say some stuff, you know.
I don't know. Certain things transcend entertainment. I feel like it's certain things you only tell people you do if you're serious.
Yeah,
but you know, but right now people do stuff for shock value in music right now.
I guess.
I'll tell you what, young Miami, I can't even keep up with all these names. It's like, for me, she was probably just the chick who everybody thought Diddy peed on. And like, when I see these things, I'm like, young Miami, I feel like old Los Angeles, because I can't keep up with, you know what I mean? I can't, I'm like Mr. Burns or whatever now from like in Living, what is it, A Different World? I can't keep up with all these people, okay? So I'm like, hard. Who? I felt like I was the guy, you know, in the Crockett hearing. I like the who said to the what about what? It's like, you know, and then you know, when I hear this, I immediately go to the Chappelle show. When he was doing the rewrites of the R. Kelly songs, and it was like, pee, pee, give me that poo, poo, you know, and he's like, only thing make my life complete, turn your face into a toilet seat, I want to pee on you, pee, 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 poo, 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 pee on you. Yeah, that's all I can hear when, like, it's like, that's what's in my head.
That's why I feel like you don't play with it, because the black community was introduced to golden showers by R. Kelly. So if you go make a reference to it, I feel like that's serious, because as soon as you talk about a golden shower, our collective Negro minds immediately go to Chappelle's show. We might go to a Boondocks episode, or we go into the actual video where that young girl was pissed on by that grown-ass man. So it's not like that's actually a little different from the booty eating incident with Jhené Aiko. But yeah, it's rap and just black music in general is so confusing, because we literally have the biggest song in the world right now is Not Like Us, which is a song about exposing another Negro as a fraud. But now we have people saying, yeah, I said this on record, but I was just playing with y'all. Hip-hop is so fucking confusing. I don't know where you're supposed to be authentic, where you're supposed to be entertaining, where you're supposed to be just playing. I just feel like don't say shit on the record that you don't do in real life.
Yeah, you don't even know what eating the booty like groceries is, you know?
So to piggyback off of what Sarah said, like the whole Chappelle thing that made me laugh the hardest is when he said he ran into R. Kelly, and R. Kelly was like, how you gonna make a video about it? And he was like, how you gonna make a video?
At least the girls in my video was of age, nigga.
Right.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
The first one to put them out before a lifetime.
Okay, Caresha, whatever, girl. You tried it. Let's get into the comments for a minute.
The Caresha part of that article was the funniest, because she said she just goes with the flow or something like that.
Was that a double entendre?
Not the flow, bitch. Not the flow.
Well, you know what? She always making, you know, they had the City Girls, they had Their catchphrase was period. So yeah, what's up? What's up, Dion? We missed you last episode. I know niggas be having shit to do though. Let's see here. What's up, Colin?
Life be lifing.
Yeah, got shit to do. Shit to do.
Shit to do.
What else? Let's see here. Tony's in here. I gotta change. As Antoine likes to say, there's a whole lot of backpedaling and pussy popping. Yeah, there is. There is. And please comment on your mans. Comment on your man.
And actually like the video as well.
Yes. Please, thank you. Chavez does a better job of that than I do. Oh.
That's like me and Chavez's specialty. Did you put the heart yet?
What's up, Jason? I don't know what happened to Chavez.
Bars was kind of a pretty. It's almost like he just went into his little spot for a second. He'll be back. Having his old mo. He's fine.
So shit. He just flew. It just went. It was like poof.
He's one of those constellations. He'll be back. He's
poof.
He's just twinkling away.
Okay. So we gonna jump to the next topic. Charlamagne the God was on Fox News for some reason, and I will show y'all the clip, but I'm ill prepared. Essentially, he's in the clip saying that Donald Trump tried to steal the election. Actually, posted on Truth Media that we should adjust the Constitution so that he can stay in office indefinitely. And the host is taken off guard because if you've been following Charlamagne thus far, you would be shocked to hear this come out of his mouth because he has not been critical of Trump at all in the past probably 6 months to a year. He's basically been playing the field, meaning he's been focusing more on the other candidates and their negative traits without then balancing that out with explaining why Donald Trump is still the worst option out of everybody that's available to be voted for. So, yeah, are we, Sarah, are we inviting him back to the barbecue because of this? What do you think?
I liked the thing you had that said, I don't know about inviting him back to the barbecue, but maybe we'll bring him some potato salad.
a few ounces. A few ounces.
Potato salad, yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm gonna need to see a lot more before he's, regained admittance into the actual barbecue. You know what I mean? And like, whenever we consider even bringing him back, he'll be just doing napkins and cutlery to start off because we can't even really trust you on anything important. You're not touching the mac and cheese for probably ever.
Yeah, it was strange. I mean, I'd rather hear him say that than what he's been saying. There we go.
And I'm back.
Oh, good to see you. Good to see you. We were just speaking about Charlamagne switching sides again. He was on Fox News reading Donald Trump for filth, and the Fox News host was taken off guard. He thought he had one of these magical Negroes, one of these magical outlier Negroes, like what was
like the other guy on the show?
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
It's like writing. So I voted for him about 3 times. I'm about to vote for him again. He thought he had wrong. Magical Negro is what it was. It's like, sorry, he was taking a day off.
Yeah. And he thought Chavez
from the dumpster.
Well, I mean, it's to the point now where we're so. Whew. Man, it's just crazy to me that I'm not surprised, but it is crazy to me that we're here. I mean, before he was known in the 20s, he was known in the 90s. And everybody's familiar with what type of person your former president is.
Right.
And the simple fact that he was able to become president says a lot about the country. Because basically anyone, either of us could become president.
Oh, yeah. But you know what? But can I say this? This is the one, I mean, it seemed like you can't say anything positive about the man. Truth of the matter, there probably are, if I cared to do my research, there probably are some things that he did as president that were positive. I don't think every single thing he did was negative, but
Well, it's not that, but it's what I'll say is the things that he may have done positive are highly outshined by January 6th, by
correct.
his efforts to destabilize the country, the
Right.
disinformation campaign. It's
Right.
like he is literally the worst possible person. Him being in office, him rising to the office of the presidency is like putting a fox in a chicken coop or
Yeah.
a bull in a china shop. Like
Yeah.
there is no way that you don't have some type of destruction. It's just not going to happen. You're not.
True.
It's irreparable damage right now because of the courts, the
Yeah.
judges that he's put into these courts. You cannot repair this.
No.
It's irreparable.
He has judges compromising their principles, Supreme Court justices, because this flag shit is out of control.
And,
Well,
and the lower courts, and then even in the lower courts. So it's like what has happened is the Democrats have allowed, and I don't say this like they willingly allowed it. Democrats have allowed the worst possible situation to happen. And when I say that, I'm saying that right now we have someone who is completely unscrupulous, who put people in positions where they can actually circumvent the law in their role as people who are supposed to enforce the law.
And
Like,
they in these roles, these are not, a lot of these roles are not 4-year roles. Supreme Court justices, because that is truly, you can't put the genie back in the fucking lamp. Because even with this Alito shit, they're letting us know, we're here, look, I'm here, I ain't going nowhere, I don't give a fuck what you think. I'll fly this fucking flag, what you go do? And there really isn't, it's scary as fuck.
And what is the Chief Justice? What is the Chief Justice responded? No response.
None.
Nothing.
And you're supposed to be impartial. And this idea that you could be a Supreme Court justice and say, oh, I ain't had nothing to do with it. That was somebody else in my house that did it.
Yeah, that was
nobody in your house should be giving any iota of impropriety. You need to run your house properly if you're going to be in the highest fucking court in the country. But what I wanted to say was when you said any one of us could be president, I think that is the one positive thing that has come out of him actually winning. I know that sounds crazy, but I think it's
literally
high
anyone.
time. Yeah, but I do think it's high time for us to stop depending on career politicians to run for office. I think a school teacher, a trash man, a community activist, Gladys would be a great president.
Nice,
people who have a connection to the people, and it's like everybody's experience is different. Just because you're a senator doesn't make you better at understanding what people need. It makes you better at playing the political game. And that is part of the problem, is that game is run by old ass white men, and we have to play the game that they've set the rules for. So that is the only positive thing. I hope down the line that trickles down into others seeing it as an opportunity. But right now, it's just terrifying. I would never run for office. People are fucking crazy right now. They are fucking crazy. So okay. So Charlamagne don't get to come to the barbecue, but we'll give him a couple ounces of potato salad.
Hey, make sure he get the potato salad with the raisins in it. you gotta give him not the
only one that'll be left over.
You know how sometimes you have like 2 or 3 people will bring something and you put the good stuff out.
Of course.
Yeah, so you let them. You give him the raisins, the potato salad that's in the house in the refrigerator.
I'm gonna read some of these comments. Column says people aren't involved in the politics. Let's get people tuned in and running for office. Too many uncontested seats. Karen said we have one choice to check the Supreme Court. Expand the court. You know what, Karen? I felt some type of way about this at one point, but that's the only way to fix what's happened at this point.
I don't know if the Dems have it in them, because the biggest problem, the reason why we're in this issue right now is because I get it. Democrats want to play. They want to play fair. They want to play above the board. They want to play above the fray. But at some point in time, when you have somebody who's fighting in the mud with you, at some point in time, you got to do it. So if Democrats get the House, if they get the House, they get the Senate, they get the presidency, you need to expand the courts, and you need to because Republicans are unapologetic with the way they are. They are wholly unapologetic.
It's anything goes. It's like no holds barred, and they put Baby in a corner, and all Baby can do now is lash out and do extremist shit. And expanding the court to me is extreme, but the shit y'all did, stuffing the court, was extreme. Stuffing the lower courts. So that's our only option now to try and rectify it. So I'm all for it at this point. I wasn't at first, but yeah, it's you gotta do what you gotta do. Be a dick. Yeah, Karen. Tony says the court should have expanded years ago. Once upon a time, the court was reevaluated regularly and expanded when they added circuit districts. Yep. No lies detected. Let's see. So again, ill prepared, but Marjorie Taylor Greene decided to. Why is this not? Come on now, stop playing with me.
I'm gonna tell you,
here we go.
Marjorie failure.
Yeah, technology be trying to fail me, but I'm gonna be undefeated. There we go. So Marjorie Taylor Greene posted a photo of herself in a bikini, and got gathered because people found photos of what she actually looks like, and it's like it's a different person. It's like it's a face on a different body, because the body in the bikini photo is not necessarily a body that you would call badly built or butch. But one thing that's hilarious is somebody zoomed in on the feet, and they found another picture of her feet elsewhere, and the feet don't match. Like she has like, damn, where's my allegedly? I don't have my allegedly right. Do I have it here? Is it right? She has ogre feet. Like her feet.
If the feet don't fit, you must have quit. But real talk, I know I said this before, man. I was 100% honest when I said this. The first time I saw MTG, I really thought it was like Mickey Rourke from The Wrestler. Ram. Remember they called him the Ram? She looks like, real talk, she does facially. You gotta, you
are correct.
Yeah.
They keep showing it went viral, the Neanderthal post, because they had the museum, I think there was somewhere in France or something, and they had a Neanderthal woman, and it looks like it's like if they wanted to put Marjorie Taylor Greene in one of those wax museums, and they were trying to make it look like her. That's how much like the Neanderthal looks like her, you know. So it's I mean, no, I'm not surprised you thought that, because she basically never evolved. Like her people didn't quite. They're like several generations behind the rest of us.
She also looks a little bit like her face looks a little bit like the mask that Jason Voorhees wears. Is it the Friday the 13th movie? Mm-hmm. And I also think of do y'all remember the movie The Goonies?
Yes. Oh no, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Now y'all know. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna get, because I'm not done using that fucking song.
You talking about the eye of the eye?
Yes. I literally want to play that song. One day y'all go turn the show on, and the intro is gonna be that bleach blonde, bad built bitch with a butch body. It's gonna be playing that song, and it's gonna be images of Sloth from the Goonies, and it's just gonna have Marjorie written on top. Yeah, I think that'd be I think it'd be a beautiful music video.
And agree about the caveman commercials. Like she looks like she could be the cave woman from the Geico commercials as well. So yeah, Jason, absolutely, absolutely. Should never don't run around starting things on looks when that's how you're looking.
Exactly.
Okay? This is how they made up the glass houses thing. This is it. That's, you're the glass house, Marjorie.
Well, you know it's dangerous.
Throwing a stone, baby.
So I think Danielle sent it to Crescent and I, but there's a clip of a black woman in an airport, and she sees Marjorie Taylor, and now when anybody encounters her, it's like, "Hey, bleach blonde bad Bill."
Bleach blonde bad Bill. Yeah,
and that bitch is not gonna respond because she's a pussy. She's not gonna respond. If she tries to get brolic out in public, she go get her ass beat. You know,
it's hysterical. I said that to a couple people.
What I'm proposing, I've been proposing this for some years now, right? We need to switch. We need to swap out pussy with balls, right?
Yes, you all said that. It's true.
She's a balls.
I know that's like your life mission now.
Yeah, because actually,
like the pussy is strong. Tough.
It's tough. It takes a pounding. If something just lightly grazes the ball, you're on the ground. So I think when we're talking about someone, like,
it makes perfect sense.
We
need to swap out. We need to swap out pussy with
balls ass motherfucker.
Stop behaving like a ball sack. Grow a pussy. Grow a pussy and stop acting like a fucking ball sack.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a nice.
Exactly.
Grow a pussy. No, I smell a new catchphrase.
Yeah,
I smell a new
testicular
catchphrase.
Piece of shit. Grow a pussy.
Okay, let's see here. So this story is a little weird. So apparently AMC, y'all know AMC paired with Beyonce and Taylor Swift to release their concert films. And Taylor's came out first. And I think Taylor's was October and Beyonce's came out in December. And they both did pretty well, although I saw the numbers and I had no idea that there was such a stark difference between the two. Taylor's grossed close to 300 million and Beyonce's did 44 million. But to be fair, Beyonce is an older artist. As you age, your numbers tend to drop in terms of popularity.
Yeah, Taylor has that little teeny bop cult and shit too. It's like a whole different set of situations happening.
That's an advantage that she has. And you know what? God bless her, you know?
And there's a lot of cultures that are anti-black, but they love a skinny little white girl. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So like when you think about it worldwide.
Yes. Yeah.
They want to be that skinny little white girl. That's like,
Yes. And I get it. And and it's not because I don't like it when they try and pit. I have conversations with people sometimes and they're like, yeah, because, Taylor can't blah, blah, blah. I'm like, if people like her, they like her. It doesn't matter if you don't think she's up to your standard. She clearly has redeeming qualities. I don't feel like she fucks with nobody. Y'all know how people be accusing these celebrities of throwing up the sixes and being in the Illuminati and being devil worshippers and being part of these cabals and stuff. So I've seen photos of nearly every celebrity throwing up the sixes. So one day I saw a picture posted of Taylor Swift and she had what team? Y'all know, I don't know the sports. What team does her fine ass boyfriend play for?
He was on
Travis
the
Kelce.
Kansas City Chiefs or something, wasn't he?
Okay, so the Chiefs.
I think so.
So in the photo, this is post them starting to date. It's her putting on a hat that's for his team, right? And people, I saw the photo and they're like, there she go, throwing up the sixes. So I went and got a cap and I put my cap on and I adjusted it. And when the natural position for my fingers to go in was like this, when I put it on and I looked in the mirror and it looked like I was throwing up two sixes. I'm just saying it's getting out of control. It's getting out of control.
Yeah.
It's getting out of control. So at any rate,
going crazy about her private plane usage, which is like, I'm not saying that it's not true that it's bad for the environment, but they act like she's the only person flying on a private jet. It's like there's a lot of other people. If she stopped, there's a lot of other people they got to worry about. But people just they get
passes. they get passes to the people they like. Now, I'll give you an example. If you find out that Patti LaBelle flies in a private jet, are you going to chastise her for that? You go say that's an old black lady and she going to do it. You are?
Only because I want to know if she got some pies on the
We tend to chastise the people who we aren't crazy about and give people that we like passes just collectively. I'm not saying the people on this panel do it. But so AMC had both of these movies in the bag and it was a secret. And so they kept the Taylor movie a secret. Nobody knew about it until right before it came out, apparently. And that was a big deal to a lot of people. And so her movie did really well. But in the way this article that we read, these people need to learn how to write articles and be more clear about what the actual beef is. The article said that Hollywood was mad at AMC because they are typically the arbiters of the scheduling. I guess meaning these concerts are outliers in that the movie studios aren't aware that they exist, so they can't adjust their release schedules. Now, I'm gathering this because this is not what the article said. But to give you an example, Sony may not release a movie during a particular weekend because Universal is releasing something that they don't really want to compete with. And they see that as a rule of engagement. So AMC keeping a release a secret to Hollywood is a slap in the face. It's like, you didn't fucking tell us a Taylor Swift movie was coming out. We had this movie that we spent $100 million coming out. We know it can't compete with Taylor. Yeah. So what they're alluding to and what the BEYHIVE believes is that in order to appease Hollywood, AMC, when it was time to release Beyonce's movie, they gave the industry a heads up. So it wasn't a secret like Taylor's movie release was. Mm-hmm. And the BEYHIVE is like, yeah, Beyonce should never work with AMC again and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, if she don't work with AMC, where the fuck is the movie going to be screened at? Don't AMC own everything?
That I don't know.
AMC and Ticketmaster. Regal Theaters. Yeah. Can I get a Regal Theater in the chat? Are we Lowe's Cineplex? Cineplex Odeon?
What do you know about Cineplex Odeon?
Let's go to River Oaks. Let's go to River Oaks right now. River Run Theater.
I used to go to Crestwood.
Oh man, I used to go to Washington Square Mall on Halsted. So yeah. Oh, and there used to be, it was one, Roseland. We used to go to the Roseland Theater and it was rats in that motherfucker.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Hey, Sarah, take it easy on the wine because I mean you throwing it back like that glass is gonna be empty before the half the show's done.
Don't worry, I have the bottle to refill.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, my bad.
That's why I'm slowly drinking. The bottle's right here.
Yeah, you should see how we used to drink. So that's why I don't drink during the show anymore.
We used to drink.
Woo! Woo! Yeah, so the BEYHIVE is pissed. Beyonce hasn't released a statement. Beyonce thanked AMC because the movie was #1 when it came out, Beyonce's movie. It's almost as if the BEYHIVE is implying that the cat being out of the bag somehow affected her ticket sales, and I don't think that has anything to do with it.
That's the thing is like this. There was another story too. They're not this. None of these things are real news. Like it's like you were #1 when yours came out in December. Taylor's came out in October.
Yeah.
If anything, them leaking it, a lot of times people leak it themselves because they're trying to get the stuff even more drummed up, and even just like it being leaked makes it more sexy, right? It was leaked. So it's like, I'm not really sure there's really a real story here. Like, I mean, I think the only story is, why did you treat Beyonce's differently from Taylor? But even that is almost handled because they're like, Taylor's came out first. They were so pissed at us that we didn't want to have them be pissed at us again. Because just like you're like, who is Beyonce going to go to? It's like TMC has to deal with all the other people in the industry too, who are all mad at them for hiding the Taylor thing. So it feels like you know, they should treat people evenly, and it shouldn't be like the white girl gets this, black girl gets this. But ultimately, they both had really successful movies. Hers was
Yes.
number one, and that's the thing. Even the Beyonce part, it's like maybe it's just her doing her like good girl PR stuff, but I mean, it's like the BeyHive is upset, but the Beyonce quote was like, "Thank you so much. This was a
Yes.
real like push for me to get this done in time, and I'm number one." And you know, she
Yeah.
maybe she's just doing the good PR thing, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Listen,
It's not.
listen,
It's just hard to see what's really like what's really the
listen.
big
I
story.
agree.
Beyonce just went to the bank and deposited more money. She's good.
She's
She's
Yes.
fine.
she's like,
She's
hey,
fine.
AMC, thank you very much. I appreciate everything y'all did. I'm about to go this way right now and deposit this money in my account.
And just
Yeah.
imagine what a great check that is. It's like she said she was in the booth with the editors. They were color grading, editing it, and everything. And just imagine, you know, what goes into putting on her elaborate ass tours. I mean, top notch, right? The costumes, the scenery, the choreography, all of this. And then you get to watch that back, re-experience it. Then it's in the theaters, and your fans who couldn't come to the concert get to experience it. But what I'm trying to say here is, God damn it, that's some easy fucking money. You
Real quick.
already did the work.
Yeah.
And here,
Real
you know,
quick.
playing devil's advocate too, like if you think about her release time of December, it probably helped for people to get a little heads up because you got the holidays, you got holiday
Yup.
parties, you
Yup.
got a lot of stuff to compete with. But being released out over the holidays, people get a little bit of a heads up on it. Now they're like, oh, over Christmas, let's go see the Beyonce, you know?
Yeah.
So it might have actually helped
I agree.
people to schedule,
I
you know,
agree.
around this busy holiday time.
I agree.
So-
I need to know
so I'm
ahead
not-
of time.
I'm not in the Beehive and I'm not a Swiftie, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mad respect to both
No.
of them. But what would be dope if this hasn't already been done, because I don't know. What would be dope if they did a song together? I just don't know if their fan bases would like that though. I don't know.
They overlap to a certain extent because Beyonce does still
Yeah.
read young. She is not, you know, she's not like Diana Ross. Diana Ross, young people are not flocking to Diana Ross concerts unless they're going with a parent to introduce them to her. But she's iconic nonetheless. So is a Patti LaBelle. But Beyonce still captures some of their audience. And the fact that they are so rabid, the fan base is so rabid, and they keep trying to pit the two of them against one another. I think those
Fine.
are the extremists. I think at center, I believe if you own a Taylor Swift album, there's probably a 60% chance you own Beyonce material as well. And I'll even say it's more likely, a Swiftie is way more likely to own Beyonce material than a Beehive member
I agree with
owning
that.
Taylor
agree with
Swift
that.
content.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with
because
that.
Black people are a lot more discerning when it comes to the color of the artists that they listen to. And I'm not going to call that racist because all of it is derivative of Black
And
music.
just a genre of music, you know?
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
that's not as popular of a genre of music in, you know, the Black culture. And I would say that Kanye was kind of like a little Rumpelstiltskin witch. And when he charged the stage at that MTV during Taylor's
Oh,
award acceptance and said it should have gone to Beyonce, that was like the magical moment that bonded Taylor Swift and Beyonce together in
Yes.
history for all eternity.
Did
Yeah.
you
That
see Beyonce's
people
face?
will keep I'm saying people will keep trying
Mortified.
to pit them against each other, and they will keep on rising above it, supporting each other. Even in this article, they talked about how they each went to each other's
They sure
premiere
did.
of the movie. So I would say that, like, you know, that whole thing in some ways backfired, if you want to say, for Kanye, because you were trying to be all take this person's moment, and it's like Beyonce was raised in the church. They don't be doing moment seals during people's time where they got an award and shit.
No.
So I think that moment really actually sealed this weird bond that they kind of have, where it's like they don't have
Yeah.
to talk a lot, they don't have to do a bunch of things together, but as many times as people try to pit them against each other, it only like strengthens that weird thing that
Yeah.
Kanye set in motion all those years ago.
And let's not forget, and I think you kind of mentioned this, remember Beyonce went to get her award and she let Taylor come up and she said, I'm going to let Taylor have her moment. They clearly know each other and they get along and they respect the fuck out of each other. It's a shame that the fan bases don't know how to follow suit. I guess it's out of fashion or it's inappropriate for the artists to try and tell their fans how to feel, because it would be great if both of them could do a video and say, hey guys, we love each other. We listen to one another's music. We might even do a song together one day. So chill the fuck out.
It doesn't matter, Antoine. The artists try to do stuff like that. I mean, Selena has to do that every other week so that people don't beat up Hailey Baldwin on the street. So they try. You know what I mean? The artists will try. It just doesn't. She has to be like, guys, please stop bullying her. We're not doing this. And it's like they're like, fuck you, bitch, you're not Selena. It's like,
hey,
it's like
them
it doesn't really matter what they do.
Them Selena fans. When and her fucking brand, they be like, fuck everybody else. Rare Beauty is everything, girl. Selena Gomez. Oh man,
they spend a lot of time just comparing how much worse Justin is to Hailey than he ever was to Selena. Even now, it's like,
it's bad.
Like people over here living their life, minding their business, but the fans are over here rabid as fuck, like just rabid, foaming at the mouth, like, oh my god. Like,
you're right. You're right.
Hey, don't worry, Chavez. I filled up, so don't worry. We got like you over here watching me drink, and I'm sitting here laughing at you with your label taken off, like we don't all know that's a frappuccino. You know, I'm thinking about in like the back in the day on MTV and Real World and shit, and they would have the labels blurred out, like we didn't all know it was a Coca-Cola can. I'm like Chavez doing the old school. Oh no, this is just an unlabeled beverage in the most distinct.
Speaking of which, I am prone to tangential rants on the show from time to time. Are y'all familiar with the original Starbucks logo?
I need more. Like which one?
When you look at the current one, y'all know it's a mermaid, right? So,
yes,
they had to alter that multiple times. That is a mermaid pulling her legs apart to expose her pussy. That is what that logo is. Now,
they don't even have legs. They have a tail.
The tail, she's spreading the tail. If you look at that photo, it's spread. Now, you'd be like, how the fuck apparently, we've been misinterpreting mermaid anatomy. Disney don't know what the fuck they talking about. Ariel has 2 parts, and you got to spread them apart to get at the good stuff. So I just think it's hilarious that one of probably the 3 largest franchises, I don't even know if they're franchised or not, corporations, whatever you want, it's 2 of them on every fucking block across the street from one another. Their logo is a mermaid exposing her pussy.
Would you like extra foam with that latte?
What is wrong with the world? Change your logo. Make it a fucking coffee bean. I don't know.
Listen. The logo that they have was very, very intentional.
How we connect? Look, what does pussy, mermaids, what does that have to do with Seattle and coffee?
They're like, eat the booty like Starbucks coffee. You know?
So Antoine, so check this out. You know how, especially like on the movies, how in their comedy, it's like they like, ball and dick and ass jokes, right? Just in their comedies. Comedies, it's like, so it's the same thing. Like, you gotta remember who owns these companies, and it's like just think that they're approaching the logo from the same place that someone who's a writer for their comedies approaches their form of comedy. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
My brain don't work. Look, and I have a demented, perverted brain. I couldn't have made that connection.
There's a lot going on in my head after this tangent. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Starbucks, we've got who's it's and what's it's galore, you know? Come on through. Like,
hey, speaking of mermaids, another billionaire don't know what the fuck to do with his goddamn money.
Yeah.
So we have yet another billionaire working on a submarine. I think it's going to be, is it $20 million? I think it's $20 million. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Something like that. Something ridiculous. Something we could use for homelessness.
So the difference, though, is the one that went down that was last year, I think. The one that went down, the one that imploded last year,
yes, the submersible.
That was a startup. Yeah, submersible. That was a startup company. Now, remember, it was controlled with, like, it was
Sega controllers and shit.
Yeah.
Like a
Game Boy.
Yeah, and it also didn't go, they also didn't go through the standard certification process that everybody in the industry uses to make sure that everything is safe and sound when you're taking your ass, you know, I don't know how many miles, it's thousands of miles, thousands of meters, but 4,000 meters, I think.
300 something fucking crazy, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy.
The company, I think it's called Triton. Triton.
Oh,
Triton. Yeah.
Okay.
So
no.
I think Triton is a Greek, a mythological character in Greek mythology, I think.
Triton is like the Little Mermaid's father.
Oh no, Triton.
Like King Triton.
Yeah, but that term existed before that. I don't know the history of it, but I know Triton from. I know Triton from, because Poseidon is Neptune, but I know Triton is one of the characters from the Inhumans in Marvel Comics, and he can swim underwater. And he's got scales, and he precedes the Little Mermaid.
Triton is the Greek god of the sea, the son of Poseidon.
Yeah, so I was right. Yeah. So at any rate, this company Triton has been making submersibles for a long time, and they've already made one that has gone down to the Mariana Trench. That's the lowest point in the ocean. So where it needs to go for the Titanic ruins, I don't believe that's in the Mariana Trench. I don't believe it's that far down. So basically at this point, I don't even understand why they're discussing it. This company already has a submersible that could go down and see the ruins of the Titanic. So I guess this billionaire he's deciding that he's going to take the same trip.
It's more than 12,400 feet or 2.3 miles to the shipwreck site and a 2-person submersible.
Okay. So he said he is going down to 2-person.
The amount of pressure. Listen, if I was anywhere near the billionaire, right, I would have a Bluetooth JBL Extreme speaker with me, right? And I would always have it queued up to play Another One Bites the Dust by Queen. You know, like
Jason, that's a trident, like the gum trident. But go ahead. I'm sorry, man.
He said Triton, not trident.
You know,
you like the Big Mac and the Big Mick.
No, you didn't say Another One Bites the Dust.
Another One Bites the Dust.
But look, the Triton company is tried and true. They don't have a history of submersibles fucking imploding on themselves. So I think this billionaire will probably go down and get some good footage and come back and say, hey, we had to show y'all how it's done. But
I don't mess around in the water, man. First of all,
neither.
Let me just say this. First of all, I can't see very far beneath the water. If I'm above the water, I can't see under the water. So I'm definitely not about to be playing around. Secondly, the amount of pressure as you continuously go down further and further down the water, I don't get it.
Sounds terrifying.
You're worrying or you go up too fast. Oh, there goes your head. I don't know. It's
right. Like, your lungs explode. I mean,
yeah, I know people it's I'll just do snorkeling or whatever. I just it feels like I'm like, did this get covered in that book 1984? When all the billionaires started killing themselves off and underwater explorations, because this feels like this. I remember they used to have that. It was, I think, on Spike TV. They had the 100 dumbest ways to die or whatever, and they would feature a different one. we need to bring that back because the way people are moving these days. I mean, sometimes I have the Facebook memories pop up about when they were putting the gasoline in plastic bags during COVID and stuff, and it's like, how are some of us still alive? Like, how the fuck are some of us literally still alive?
True.
You know? So, yeah, you know, I mean, you have all this money and you're so bored. You have nothing to do. You're so bored. Even if it's like, oh, they've done more and it's safer. Like, you are so effing bored. You want to what? Like, prove to people you're better than this other billionaire who is dead with his son and shit. And you're going to go do this? I mean, it's like, it's just next level. And then it's like, if it doesn't work out, okay, well, that's all right. You gotta, you know, like,
Listen,
we should make them sign a thing that says if they don't survive, their money gets redistributed to society at large. And then we could really start making some real movements on things.
Listen,
that's what Colin is saying.
The reenactment, like the little footage they made that they came up with of how that submersible imploded. Once I saw that, if I ever thought about getting in a submersible, once I saw that, I would never get in a submersible.
It's terrifying.
Just crumble.
Well, one thing about it is that, you know, when you talk about space exploration, it's similar in a way because, but the difference between these, I won't call them fly-by-night companies, but the difference between space exploration and people, you know, making fucking submersibles with Xbox controllers is that us going into outer space, there is a long tradition of entire fucking government resources going into research and development, tens of thousands of people who have educations like Crescent Muhammad coming together to unite and bring all that knowledge to the table to keep everybody protected with the latest technology. And even with that, we don't always get it right. Look at the Challenger disaster. Apollo 13. So we have problems from time to time. We've sent rovers. We've spent hundreds of millions of dollars to send rovers to Mars and the motherfuckers didn't work. So even with all those resources, we don't always get it right. And now we're talking about fucking corporations that don't have those resources participating in something that is just as dangerous. That's kind of scary. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna stay above ground.
And meanwhile, the people in Atlantis are like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, Antoine, we've been here for a minute, okay?" Like,
I'm out here like, yo, can I got to GoFundMe right now. I'm trying to raise $13,000 so I can build this submersible, so I can go down to the Titanic.
Yeah,
let me get that so I could submerge myself into the bank vault. You know what I mean?
Yes.
To my submersible. You know?
Why are they so fucking obsessed with the Titanic ruins? Is it because we know all them rich people was on that boat, which means rich people jewelry and
porn. It's rich people porn.
Okay.
It's like they're like, oh, a time in antebellum days. Oh, we had experience back when things were good, and we didn't have to look at them, and they just want to like imagine themselves in like a dinner jacket or whatever, you know, and just go around and spitting on you know poor people and stuff, and it's like they like want that so badly, and they're like, bring back the caste system, like it's for them. It's rich people born.
Antebellum days.
Yeah, they're like, come on.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, let's gloss it up, you know?
Yeah, he doubt Abby up in this piece.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Okay. So I don't know if y'all got to see it, but this was random. This popped up when I was doing research for the show flow. And this commercial comes on for migraine medication, and it's Kenya Moore looking fine as hell, killing the game. And I look at it, and you know, and this is what's fucked up about us. When I saw the commercial, I was like, this can't be like a major like this some shit. Cousin Pookie got his pharmaceutical license. He got all the family to put in some money so he could run a little internet commercial or whatever. Yep. And I do my due diligence and I rewatch it a couple times, and it's Pfizer. It's a fucking Pfizer commercial. You know what? That's a bad bitch right there. She keep a bad.
Well, you know, I think Kenya Moore still has some cachet about her.
Yes.
You know, so I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah. I like how most of her like role for the commercial is just her looking good. It's just her sitting there being like,
right.
Oh my God.
And it's like she doesn't even have to say anything. It's just her striking a pose, looking pretty in a dress. Like it's like she's like, this helps my headaches and it helps me to be there for the people who need me. And it's like her daughter Brooklyn. I was like, that must have been a lot just to get Brooklyn in the commercial the way that the daddy be acting. Yeah, he didn't want her even on the Real Housewives, but I mean somebody gotta pay these bills, I guess. So maybe in Pfizer commercials now.
I think, you know, and I will say this, you know, she breaks down boundaries because I think I'm not sure which. I don't think Kenya was the first Black Miss USA. She was a Black Miss USA. I don't think she was the first one.
I think that's what her claim is that I think that's the big thing is maybe she is the first Black Miss USA.
And that's possible
not
because
Miss America, because Miss America was Vanessa Williams.
Right.
But Miss USA, I think maybe
she was, because Miss USA isn't as, you know,
prominent.
I think that's what it is, and I think what she would get annoyed with is that people would say Miss America, and she would say, "No, it's not Miss America, it's Miss USA."
Oh, Portia did it. Portia did it to her during one of her events, and that's when they got off on the wrong. Get it right, bitch.
These days, it's like whichever one isn't Trump is the one you probably want to try to like be more claiming about. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, so that was a moment for me because you don't see niggas in these commercials typically. Now, when you see them in the crowd, because Black people do show up in these commercials, but usually it's a montage of people of different backgrounds or it's a blended mixed family.
No, you know when it's Black people, it's always when it's like prep for like, you know, like AIDS prep. Like they always are in those, and it's always Black people. It's stuff, no.
So Kenya was the second Miss USA.
Second Black one.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
I don't know who the first one was.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, celebrating Kenya. Get that check, girl. I don't know. Give Nene some pointers because I ain't seen her doing shit.
Look, I know, like
I ain't seen Nene doing nothing. She did last time I saw Nene. She was doing a baddie. She was hosting a baddies reunion. Yeah, help your girl out. I know y'all ain't getting along that well right now.
But what I said.
I am very rich, bitch.
I know she's not perfect, but I always kind of had a special place in my heart for Kenya. So I always kind of loved her. I don't even care.
Girl, they don't have a show without Kenya.
They be trying to hate on her so much, and she be coming with the reads, and she's just like her own person. I know she may have her little faults, but you know, I kind of love me.
Kenya's that chick, so.
Yeah. She fits
into
that.
A lot of their stuff is just hate. Y'all just hating because you ain't her, you know?
Well, it's also, let's be clear here. The only person who pretty much gets away with just being a nice person on these franchises and still being likable is probably Kandi Burruss. But part of the reason that Kandi gets away with it is she has so much going on, and her family does the shady shit for her. Her mama, her aunties, her mama don't like her husband.
Yeah.
So she in and of herself is not shady, but she's surrounded by shady individuals. So but you don't have a show without Kenya. Oh my God. Yeah. Love me some Kenya.
Look.
So moving on, Airbnb.
You're not talking about Gail?
No, I'm sorry. I had Gail. That was me copying the show flow from the previous week and forgetting to take that out because we talked about Gail in the swimsuit.
I thought maybe we had.
We didn't. I only mentioned the swimsuit edition, but we talked about her flirting with Lenny Kravitz.
Oh, that was that I remember. That was funny.
Yeah. So there's an Airbnb host. I had it wrong. I thought it was him renting, but renting from someone.
No, host.
There's a host, and Airbnb removed his privileges from their platform. He can no longer host because he had some tweets that went out, and I didn't go back and read his tweets verbatim. Let me see here. I'm trying to see if I can pull it up. They're complaining for us.
Yeah, you said I didn't read them, but I might have them.
Yeah, I'm looking at the article
I didn't
right
read verbatim, but I might have them.
Yeah, they're not showing them they're not showing them in the article. So apparently he had a couple posts where he called black American women ghetto. And nobody knows how it got back to Airbnb, but somebody told. Somebody told, and they told this motherfucker, we no longer need your services. We don't fuck with niggas like you. Yeah. And he is trying to appeal to Elon Musk over some freedom of speech shit. And basically what he said is, I have a great rating and I have rented to tons of niggers and they have thoroughly enjoyed staying at my facility. And it's like, and you know what I immediately thought was, yeah, you seem like the type that'll own slaves and call black women ugly, but then produce 85 children with her to help in the field.
Yeah, he was a mess.
Yeah, I'm like, just because you rented to them and took their money doesn't mean that you're not racist. And the Airbnb just don't want to throw their hat in the ring of a person that moves like this.
He's mad because he got caught. Like, he wants to talk about, the Airbnb is under a corporation name or whatever, LLC or something, and my post is this, and Airbnb said it's the same motherfucking picture of you there and you there. It's you. So he's mad because he got caught, and he, thought he could post all this trash, and they're like community standards, and then he trying to be like this big hero and be, I feel so bad for the people who had me booked and now they can't stay here because
he kept emphasizing that
with the last minute. And then when you read what the thing says that they sent him, it says, we will be canceling all your upcoming things and we will help them rebook. So he's like, these poor people have to find, it's like Airbnb's helping them rebook. They'll be fine. Like,
yes,
they'll be fine. It's probably better than going and staying in some racist trash bag's house. So they'll be fine.
People kept saying, hold on real quick. This is relevant to the story. People kept trying to say, because I went on his page and looked at the responses, and he clearly has a MAGA following, and people were like, I don't care about the politics of the person that I'm renting a room from. And I'm like, bitch, I fucking do. I don't want to rent from a fucking racist. So live your life the way that you do. But I'm sorry, go ahead, Chavez.
No, I was just saying, I wonder if Don Imus has any properties up on Airbnb. They just came to mind because I'm just like, does Don Imus have any like, I want to look that up now to see if there's someone named Don Imus with properties on Airbnb.
I couldn't believe Imus said that. I remember I turned on the news and I heard it and I was like, this has to be part of like a Larry David type situation where they're going to say someone edited what he said and pieced it together so that came out. I'm like, how does a white person fix their mouth on a live mic to call somebody a nappy-headed hoe? I don't understand.
Real quick though, did he? If I remember correctly, did he kind of chuckle a little bit too? Did he laugh?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
It was funny to him. Yeah. Those some nappy-headed hoes right there. I was like, you cannot fucking say that.
I think he might have had like a rental. I think he had a rental property in Napa called Napa Headed Hose, right?
Yeah. Oh, hilarious.
Ooh, yeah, I thought, so I've stayed in
Jason said.
Why do they keep pretending that freedom of speech has something to do with everything. Also, racism does not equal politics. I've stayed in exactly one Airbnb. It was when I was in when I went to London. And Dion in the chat. Dion was with me. We went to London and Paris in October of 2019. And we stayed in a really nice Airbnb by London Bridge. That is the only Airbnb I've ever stayed in, and it all went really well.
You know, I feel like it feels like by now I should have stayed in more, but I feel like I've just stayed in one, to be honest.
Really?
And it was up in Marin County. I went up there for a friend's wedding, and it like the location ended up being great. I was really close to where he was at. It was like perfect, but this chick was clearly not supposed to be putting her place on Airbnb. It was like a rental, and I remember the weather was like obnoxiously hot. Like it's never that hot up there, but they didn't even have AC in the place. I'm like,
okay,
I'm over there hungover, trying not to die. It's like 100 something. I'm trying to just lay as still as possible. All of a sudden, the friggin' landlord is just like coming in to the joint.
Oh wow!
It was kind of awkward. You know what I mean? And she knows she's not supposed to be Airbnb. I'm like, what are you doing in here, lady? Like, fucking just swarming the place like the
I need you to
Gestapo.
take that up
Like,
with your renter. Take that up with your renter, not me.
Exactly. Don't just be like, what? Like, you're like in there. You're like, I don't know anybody. I'm not going to go to the door. And all of a sudden they're like coming in and you're like, what the hell's happening?
Yeah, that's
terrible. No, that was weird. And then I was like, I'm not coming back here to like testify in like housing court for you to evict your tenant. Like,
right.
Like,
I've done Airbnb in Madrid and in Amsterdam, and then typically here. I mean, unless it's a hotel that I really like, I would rather do an Airbnb.
Yeah, I think the next time me and my family go to Chicago together, I'm gonna try and convince them to maybe. But you know what? I'm gonna look. It's smokers in my family, and them. Them niggas will smoke. They'll be like, "Ain't nobody gonna know," and I'm just like, "Y'all are."
Yes, they will.
They will know.
Yes, they will.
It's a Chicago, and you know what? It's funny because being in LA so long, like when I go, because I'll smoke a cigarette or two with whoever I'm with, and whenever I'm at an event, particularly with the type of black people that I hang out with, I'm the only person with the other person outside having to smoke. Niggas do not smoke in LA. I mean, typically they don't. In my experience, when I go to Chicago, everybody is still smoking squares.
Hold on, they out here smoking Benson and Hedges and Virginia Slims.
Virginia Slim, light menthol, cool 100s, Newports are king. Newports
Camels
are king.
Are they still smoking Camels?
Love their Newports, I'll tell you.
The Camels when I used to go to my dive bar down the street, because you know what? I will say this. As socioeconomic status declines, the likelihood that motherfuckers are going to smoke cigarettes with drinks goes up exponentially. So my dive bar down the street, you go outside in the back, everybody's smoking. But everybody used to love them Camels. The ones you pop and they regular, and then you pop them and they turn into menthols.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
Yeah, they do chain smoking where they just lighten the next cigarette with the last one. It's like,
it's bad. It's bad.
Or on some other type of
I shot a movie some years ago and was surprised to find out that
Light Flex.
That somebody that we all know was a chain smoker, and it really shocked me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, shocked.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was watching them like you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I tell people from Chicago when they come here. I tell people from Chicago when they come here, you know, if they're smoking, I'm like, if you trying to get laid or you trying to do whatever, I'm like, you gonna have to hide the fact that you smoke, because a lot of people here will not fuck you if you're a smoker. Even in the gay community, in the apps, a lot of times it'd be like no smokers. Because
people, I mean, if you smoke, it's kind of like no disrespect, but it's like you smell like an ashtray sometimes. You know what
exactly.
Definitely.
Exactly. Janae, I go somewhere like, I said eat the booty like groceries, not like an ashtray. Yeah, it's just
I don't do that. I don't
it's
do
tough.
that.
It's
The
tough. You
fuck
really
you
have to
said in the
be
song
drunk to
for?
wanna like really drunk to wanna be making out with cigarette mouths. You really do. You gotta be like more than half in the bag. You gotta be fully in the bag to wanna be getting that flavor, you know?
Yeah,
It's just not good flavor. It's not good
it's
flavor.
it's something different.
I'm sorry I
So
keep making weird faces. The cat has been doing zoomies during the show. So
it's my mom just got a new puppy and we thought it was a boy for the longest. We found out it was a girl. And her name is Max. Her name now I
Mad
call her Maxine now that we know it's a girl. And she gets zoomies and it's adorable. But I remember my older cat, he was having zoomie fits for about 2 years. I thought I was gonna have to get rid of him. I'm gonna find the episode. We did an episode at my apartment and Crescent was out of town. This is probably 8-9 years ago. It's me, Danielle, and Tina. And the whole fucking episode, all you see are these black swooshes going all over the place. And it's my goddamn black cat all over the place.
So,
yeah, she's been doing the most, and I'm like, yo, Riblet, please chill out. Like, we're on the show right now. You gotta calm down.
So, could someone humor me and like put me in on what the zoomies are? Because I don't know.
Oh, it's like when I mean, I'm talking about the cat, but they be just like racing around like psychopaths, like just fucking flying through.
Yes.
Like,
that's
up
the
the
times when they
carpet,
get all
like,
that
just
energy and they just start running around.
It's like parkour, hardcore, you know, like they're
Yes.
just going in, and you're like, can you leave that alone?
Yes. And sometimes they'll do it at 2:00 in the morning when you're trying to sleep. It'll just come out of nowhere.
They do it around 2 or 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So do we know where it comes from? Is it just something that just happens?
It's like most things with animals and cats. It's like I think it's just like part of their natural animal instincts. It's like everything comes back to that shit eventually, you know.
With mine, it's like because I don't play with my cats as much as I should. And sometimes they just not fucking with each other like that. So a lot of times with them, it's just built up energy because my cats are indoor only. They don't get to go outside and do all the shit, normal cats get to do. So yeah, that's what part of it is. But they're older now.
Some of them do it after they shit too. And it's like,
I can see that.
I feel like they're like, who did that? It wasn't me. I don't know who left that in there. And you're like, you're the only cat. You're the only cat who lives in the house. I know it was you. And they're like, they try to just race away. They're like, damn, somebody dropped some heat in the litter box. And you're like, you're the only one who uses it. So you're not hiding it. You're not fooling anybody.
Right.
I know it was you. But they think they're real slick like that. They're like, I don't know who made that happen in there, but it wasn't me.
Yeah, that's how cats are.
Right, sweetie.
Column, yeah, Tina just decided to do her own thing. There's no love lost. We saw Tina. I think me and Crescent hung out with Tina. It was either towards the end of last year or early this year. My sense of time is all fucked up. But yeah, Tina's last time I checked, Tina was doing all right. I check in with her every now and again.
Antoine, didn't Tina do a pop-up on the show one time?
No, not since she left. She hasn't come back. Mm-mm.
Well, she left and she came back for like 1 or 2 shows and then she left again.
Yeah, that was all during all of that pretty much happened during COVID.
She hasn't
been on the show since COVID.
She hasn't been on since like January 2021, basically.
Unfortunately, I've only been introduced to you just as a collective. Mm-hmm. I've been introduced to you since then. I mean, I already knew Crescent, I already knew Tina. I had no idea that was something that this was going on.
Oh, okay. No, hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. The shows were lit. When Tina was on it, we had a really good relationship. So it's unfortunate, but you gotta move on. People got lives. They got things they gotta do. Man, things change. So yeah, but we wish her the best. So I would love her to come back and do some shows. Well, I'm gonna hit her up and ask her. Let's see here. Tony, let me see. Column said, "Lung cancer is no joke. It's not. It is no joke.
True.
It is no joke.
It's true."
So moving on, I really should have put this at the top, but Alfonso Ribeiro, and let me stop let me stop calling that man by the wrong name. I referred to him as Carlton in the lower third, and that's not right.
Now listen, you heard him tell the story about why it hurts him to be called Carlton.
Of course. Because
But did you hear him tell a story about that?
Well, I mean, I thought I did, but you go ahead.
So he was just saying that he basically couldn't get another role because everyone said he played that role so well that people would not see him outside of that role as Carlton.
Correct.
And he said that's why he said that's why, kind of like, Jaleel White, Steve Urkel.
Yeah, they were typecast.
Yeah, they tried worked hard to try to give him some. They tried to give him some sex appeal and make him Stefan Urkel, and it just didn't work.
No.
So Alfonso said that that's why when people call him Carlton, he's like it just kind of leaves a bad taste in his mouth because he's like that basically that role. That was like the beginning of his career and the ending of his career, basically.
He said it was the best and worst thing that ever happened to him because he has, as far as black culture, his role is iconic. But people don't separate Alfonso because what a lot of people forget about this man, this motherfucker wasn't he the top dance kid? So before he was on Fresh Prince, I knew him as a dancer. I remember him in the fucking Pepsi commercial with the Jacksons, the new generation.
Did he wear like a blue vest by any chance? A blue sequin vest?
He might have had on some. I believe in the commercial with the Jacksons, I think he had on a beaded jacket. I think he had on the beaded jacket.
Yeah, because he did the moonwalk.
Yeah, and let me tell you, something that doesn't get discussed about him, he was a fucking amazing dancer. He was known for being a dancer.
Yeah.
And he was small and thin. Yeah, but now it's a comic, he's known for dancing comically when he was a serious dancer. Alfonso Ribeiro made a bag from a commercial. I don't know if y'all remember this rumor. He had a commercial where he would teach you how to break dance.
Yeah, pop and lock it.
Yeah, and so it was a rumor that the video got pulled because some kid tried to do it and broke his neck, which was not true. But yeah, he was known as a dancer. I remember the commercials for everything. And then when he popped up on Fresh Prince, I was like, oh, that's an old boy. And then he just never could get a play after that.
Was he on Silver Spoons?
Yes.
Funny that you mentioned the breaking of the necks. I remember one time, of course, when we used to break dance, you would always look for that big ass truck that's coming to deliver stoves and refrigerators. So
for the cardboard.
Delivery people, can I have the box for the stove and refrigerator?
Yeah.
So one day I'm me and my homeboys, we dance and we break dance on the front porch on the box. My grandmother walked past. She said, if you break your neck while you dancing, don't come upstairs. I was like, grandmother, if I break my neck while I'm dancing, I ain't going nowhere.
Right there on the street.
Right. I'm laying right here on the ground.
Oh my God.
I gotta be honest. It's gonna sound kind of harsh, but I had a hard time really feeling that bad for Carlton. I'll call him Carlton. You're not the only motherfucker in Hollywood who's been typecast before. That's like a thing that's been happening for like all eternity, not just to black people either. Like I threw out the Screech because he's not black. These black examples, but like you won't tell me
rest in peace.
Dustin Diamond wasn't typecast, that he wasn't Screeched to everybody. It's something that is like happened since Hollywood was a Hollywood, but like I feel like that's almost like part of like earning your stars and stripes in Hollywood is rising above the typecast and proving people wrong. So you see plenty of people who were typecast. I can't necessarily do examples right now, but you see plenty of people who are typecast and then they like they were typecast as Little Bo Peep and then they went into the serial killer role. Even like Charlize Theron you can think about because like she was doing all these things, then she was Monster, right? And that was like, hey, I can do other stuff. I can look fat and ugly and fuck my hair up and I can be like this like crazy bitch. And I feel like that's like part of being in Hollywood is like rising above whatever typecast they gave you. That's what gave you your stardom. That like you might have been in other stuff, but that's what really put you on the map and made you big. And you need to take that and you need to like work with that and spin from it. Not just say, oh, they only see me as Carlton and that's it. And I know it's like for me to say that I'm not in the thing. you know, I know it's hard. I'm not saying it's like an easy thing to do, but it's just like, for me, it's like, this isn't like a unique story. But other people, instead of like doing stories about it, they just like went and did a crazy role that made people go, holy shit, I didn't even know they could be serious. Holy shit. Like, how many like comedians have you seen who have done all these funny roles, but then they went and they did something serious and people went, whoa, I didn't even know they could do acting. And then like
you have to have the desire to want to do that. Another person, what's his name? Billy from the Karate Kid, the bad guy who swept the leg.
Oh yeah.
Who's in that show now, the Bring Back?
He said the same thing. He said he got typecast, couldn't get anything because people, I mean, in that role, until they just remade the series, I think it was on Netflix. He didn't really do much of anything.
And
he was auditioning and couldn't get picked for anything. People were just looking at him like that role.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
But this was other fake story for me, because the whole story was about, oh, he said this to Tyler Perry. He didn't say shit to Tyler Perry. Other people said, you should have Tyler Perry do this. And he was like, no, thank you. And Tyler Perry didn't even say that he was like, did he actually offer him something? That he
no. Let me give you the background, because it was shit. It was shade. And also, in the chat, I'm sorry, because I'm pressing so many goddamn buttons. I'm sorry. When y'all are talking to each other, I should not be putting that on the screen. So I'm sorry. Hey, Colin and Danielle, y'all was talking to each other. And I'm just putting y'all in conversation on the screen. I'm going to be more discerning in the future. So what had happened was CARLTON was, I think, being interviewed or whatever. And he said what Chavez just explained to us about being typecast. And clearly he's still done well for himself, because now he's a host. I think he hosts America's Funniest Videos. He does one of those shows that's like, it's a great bag to have. So basically somebody saw the video where he was complaining about being typecast, and they did a tweet. They posted a tweet and they were like, can somebody get Tyler Perry to cast Alfonso Ribeiro in a role to revamp his career? And Alfonso basically responded and said, it ain't nothing that I want or that man could do for me or my career. So it was definitely shade. So here's the thing. They have actually worked together before. Alfonso has directed about 6 or 7 episodes of Tyler Perry's show, Meet the Browns. So one thing that I think is kind of misleading, when Alfonso talks about being typecast, he didn't mention that he started doing shit in the background, which a lot of people would kill to have an iconic role and then transition into producing, directing, and hosting.
Yeah, making some money over there in the behind the scenes.
Yeah, so he ain't hard up for money, but I guess if in your heart you want to be an actor, that could be a hard pill to swallow, but you know, you make lemonade out of it. So there is shade. So that is why everybody is wondering what the fuck happened.
Yeah, I'm wondering too, because you seem to have a lot of. You seem to have a lot of like. Here's the thing: you're over here like, no one will cast me, and then somebody's like, Tyler, help him out, and he's like, no, thank you. So it's like something must have happened, because otherwise, like, what do they? Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, whatever. If this motherfucker could give you something and help you out of your typecast situation, you know what I mean? So here's the problem. Something must have happened behind the scenes, right?
Something definitely happened.
Here's the problem. Tyler is not a traditional. He's not a traditional filmmaker or director, and I think it would be kind of difficult for. I know he has worked with some serious actors, but I think it's difficult for certain people. It would be difficult for certain people to work with him.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, absolutely. Look, Tyler Perry is not everybody's cup of tea. And I totally get that, because plenty of people would not want to work with him. Plenty of people are not down for his type of movie making and his type of show making and all that. But I'm just saying, if you're really like in desperate straits and you really want this chance to be an actor, and everybody, And it's like you turning shit down that hadn't even been offered yet. Like, you like, no, thank you. And it's like he didn't even say, great, I'd actually love to have him in something. He's saying no before it's like this article's like Alfonso turned down Tyler Perry. And it's like, no, Tyler Perry didn't even make a thing for him. He just turned down a hypothetical from somebody in a comment suggesting it. It's not even like a real thing that's happened. But maybe this is part of the problem is that if you're, because sometimes you have to do random shit like that just to break, like, look, Tyler Perry might be not everybody's cup of tea, but if you think about not like the Medea movies, but you think more about some of the other crazy, more like nighttime soapy ones, like if Alfonso played maybe like an evil, abusive black husband or something, you know what I mean? That could be like this breakaway role from Carlton.
It could.
You don't do it forever, but then you try to get into other shit from that. But I'm just saying, you do like a, what is it, Blair? What's the same Blair
Underwood?
Yeah, you do like a Blair Underwood, like secretly angry, abusive black man role, and you get away from Carlton. You know, you know, then next thing you know, you're a serial killer and something. It's like, this is how Hollywood works, especially for black people.
Well, I think he also was slightly offended because there was a reason that the person tweeted what they tweeted. They were, in a way, comparing him to the actor who played Elvin on The Cosby Show.
That's what I was thinking about.
Who people found working in a Trader Joe's as a
Trader
cashier.
Joe's, yes.
And as soon as I thought of that, I'm just like, Alfonso is not in the same position as the dude. Because Tyler did give that guy a role, and now he's acting again. But that is not Alfonso's situation. Alfonso is doing well. He's doing fine. He may not be acting in a Marvel movie, but he's doing okay. But like y'all said, people do break out of it because y'all have mentioned several people in the chat, but another person who did it and it happened later in life was Ed O'Neill. He ended up playing the patriarch on Modern Family. And you could argue that, that's not that far a cry from, his role on
Married with Children.
Married with Children. But either way, Modern Family is arguably one of the best shows that's ever been put out on television. I fucking love that show.
I enjoyed it.
You want to talk about an actor who reinvented themselves. The ultimate person is Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Because to go from what he was and what he was doing back when he got that role on Coming to America to what he's become.
Yes.
The
thing that might confuse people about him, I guess what could be confusing about Samuel L. Jackson is his career has been so long, and it's almost like, once he got his foot in the door, that nigga said, put me in everything.
He has the most movies. He has the highest out of all actors. He has the highest box office out of all actors. Just everything that he's been in.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, people have played iconic roles, and they might even still be remembered for those roles. I'm not taking that away, but it doesn't mean that they aren't able to go on and do other things, and that's like part of like really kind of like rising above some of the Hollywood bullshit. I do love Karen and Tony calling me out. You guys are funny. I'm not going to disagree with anything you're saying, but thank you, Danielle. Thank you, Danielle, for coming here, Captain Save-A-Ho, and saving my ass. Appreciate you.
One of the tweets.
I'm a hoe in this situation. So.
One of the tweets said, Carl said, Tyler ain't finna put one of them old raggedy ass wigs on top of my good ass hair.
Yo.
He does seem to still have a lot of hair.
From the wigs to the battery packs being seen in the scene, you see the battery packs in the scene, to a boom mic that you might see here and there.
Well, also to be clear, because I haven't seen that many Tyler Perry productions, but I feel like Carlton breaks a rule. In Tyler Perry movies, unfortunately, you typically have a light-skinned Captain Save-A-Ho, and then the villain is some brown-skinned nigga that's beating his wife or stealing from her or some shit. And Alfonso straddles the fence. He got wavy hair, he's brown, but he don't fit the stereotype of the brown man who's normally the villain in the Tyler Perry feature. So
that's what I'm
Tyler
saying.
Tyler wouldn't know what to do with him.
Did y'all
we
ever
could
see
do
the
a really
Boondocks
nice
episode?
Blair Underwood, like, you know, a little bit darker, but put him in a button down. Like, he could definitely, you know, like he's like an accountant, you know what I mean? And everybody thinks he's like really nice. He brings cookies into the office. Then he gets home from work and he's like, "Where the fuck's my dinner, bitch?" Like he could definitely, you know, I think he could definitely like go into that role.
Like, did y'all ever see the Boondocks epised that they did that got banned? That was banned for a little while.
Oh, that's classic. Tyler called in. Tyler got mad, I mean, that's why, because he called in a favor. That's why that shit was banned.
It was banned. It was banned for a very long time. You could not find that episode.
Yeah. Tyler don't play though.
But to your point, that was the funny thing because they played up the whole light-skinned dude.
They sure did. They sure did.
Shamar Moore on one side.
With the lace front. Look, let me tell you something. I don't give a fuck how much you paying me. When they turn, if I was Shamar, when they turned that nigga's chair around and said, "Here we go," and I would have said, "No, the fuck we not." No, the fuck we not. You just go. I'm just gonna wear my real hairs. This is the fuck you came up with. He looks ridiculous in that lace front. Oh my god.
What I will say is this. I might not be, you know, the biggest fan, but I will say he employs black people like no one else.
And that's why I still celebrate him. I'll joke about him, but I celebrate him for that. You can't.
We talking about from the studio for those of us who are familiar with walking on the lots here.
Yes.
And when you see somebody look at you, you look at them and you nod from a long distance.
Yeah.
But you may only encounter a few of those people to going down to Tyler Perry Studios, and that's all you see.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it's weird. It's kind of weird. It's almost like having your parent as a drug dealer. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, you keeping the lights on. I'm laced up. You know what I'm saying? Hey, always food to eat. We go to all the good places, but
like, I'm thinking about Alfonso, and it's like, I'm not saying, oh, these are like the star roles, but you tell me he can't be like a CSI analyst on some shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? You tell me he can't have like a little lab coat and a clipboard, and you tell me he can't be like the mass spectrometer, but you know what I mean? Like, there are roles out there if you want them.
Yeah, and I don't feel like he's pursuing them. He's not pursuing
fight a little bit. Yeah, he
clearly is not pursuing the role.
His stuff behind the scenes, and he's making his money, and it's like good. But then, like, you know, don't be coming out here with these little stories and everything, because like I could put you in a CSI role right now. Okay, I could pop you in there, new guy to join the lab. You know, we got this. You know, put me in, coach. I got this. You know,
right? Sarah wants her 10% too. You want her 10% for the booking too.
Yeah, I will build your career. I will build you away from Carlton. We can do this.
I agree. And yes, Ernest, we were talking about the Shamar Moore lace front cornrows, and I don't know which movie it was. I don't know which one it was.
I feel like I can see it in my head though.
It's iconic because it's so bad. Yeah, but yeah, and Ernest, we were saying that the fact that he referred to Tyler as that man clearly means they had an incident, because he has worked with Tyler on Meet the Browns. He directed at least 6 episodes of it. So yeah, but I hope it's that was some hot tea. That was some hot tea. I think we're gonna end it there, y'all. Now on Friday, I'm gonna push the last topic to Friday. And Crescent right now is probably going to be back on Friday. And nice. And we're going to experiment on Friday and try and have 2 guest hosts, so for a total of 4 people. Keep my internet connection in your thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, if you bring back the Foursquare.
Yeah, we gonna see how that works.
Bam!
But the last thing we were going to talk about, I'm going to push it to Friday, is there's an app where you could get flued out to have sex with wealthy men, or probably women too, cougars. And there's been a lot of online discussion about it. You essentially apply, they have an application. And you apply, and it's all done within the app. And if they accept you, they fly you out and, I don't know, piss on you, shit on you. I don't know. There's a rumor that you get shit on in Dubai when you get flued out.
The men from the UK go to Africa to sleep with the young black women, and the women go to the Caribbean to sleep with the young black men.
Oh yeah.
It's big business.
It's a thing.
90 Day Fiance in a nutshell.
Hey, straight to how you doing? Straight from how you doing? What's your name to the honeymoon? All in one day. All in one day.
How Karen got her groove back.
How Karen got, like a grown child to take care of financially.
At any rate, thank y'all for joining us. We kept it a little shorter this time. I think me and Crescent have committed to doing. It's never going to be more than 90 minutes moving forward, because I got too many goddamn buttons to push. But thank you to Sarah and Chavez for joining us tonight. Thanks to everybody who has held it down for the show since Crescent's been recovering. Y'all will never know how much I appreciate it. So, yeah, we'll see you on Friday, and thanks again for watching.
Peace.
Toodles to you niggas.